Good morning and welcome back to another Microsoft Flight Simulator stream. We are here in Minneapolis, Minnesota. We'll be taking the E-170, the ERJ, from Minneapolis to Chicago. And no, we're not going into O'Hare, we're doing Midway. It's Midway Monday here in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. We see a bunch of planes out there. We have another E-Jet next to us. We have a CRJ 319. Not quite sure what that delta is right below us. Alright, hopefully this isn't getting you too sick. Again, welcome back to another Microsoft Flight Simulator stream. This is the E-Jet. This is from Flight Sim Studio, or Studios with an S, and it's not a bad plane. I have fun with it. I really do. In all honesty, I really do. We're using Beyondatc as we always do. This is a real-world flight. We are using a pilot's life to track our flight. It is a great piece of software. There's a career video up on the channel here if you're interested in getting into career modes with Flight Sim. That video may be for you. We're expecting runway 17 departure. The winds are pretty calm here in Minneapolis at 7 knots. As you saw, it's pretty clear out there. Temperature is currently 17. The weather is pretty much exactly the same in Chicago this morning. Let's go ahead and get this plane rolling, shall we? So let's go ahead and get that GPU connected. We're going to go to flight details and import the flight plan. Go ahead and get that all set. Go to departure, runway 17, as I said, is our departure. We're going to be dry conditions, winds auto, calculate, instant load, and our aircraft is now loaded. We can go up top here. Battery 1 and 2 is on, GPU connected and on. APU is rolling next. Emergency lights. No smoking, seatbelt signs are all on. And we'll get our other lights on next. Alright, now that we have that going, we go on down below here and go to route, and then route. And then here we put in destination information, so KMDW. Pop that in there. And sometimes you have to hit the caution button. We're going to go to send. And then once it's sent off, we're going to go into the flight request here, and we're going to apply it. Now this is going to do part of the load of the flight plan. It doesn't do everything. Actually, it does very little, but it's good enough. Okay, once you have that set, we can go ahead and clear out the information there. We can go to departure. We're expecting runway 17 departure via the RST-1. And ALO, nope, RST. Alright, so let's go to departure and apply. And now we have that set in there. We'll see it all load. Beautiful, grand. Next we're going to do arrival. We're expecting runway 4 right into Midway. And we're going to go via star ND6. Via... Oh my. Oh my. Where's oh my? There's no oh my. It's interesting. Alright, arrival and apply. And now what we need to do is we need to verify our flight plan is correct. So we go into our briefing panel here. We'll take a look at this. We're going to fetch it, and we scroll on down, we can see here's our flight plan. So RST, oh my, ND6. So it looks like it's pretty decent, right? So we have that, good. ND6 starts with what? Now I need to just verify. Alright, so we have a disco going on here, though. I think. Where's that directing us to? Or is it just a 4 right arrival? Okay, cool. Okay, so then... approach here, oh my. I didn't see oh my on here. There's Chump. this is where I'm a little confused at. RST, I don't see RST on here. Let's go to our map real quick and see what we have going on. Let's zoom on out. The flight plan looks like it's pretty decent, I guess. Yeah, looks like it's going to work out. So this plane isn't quite perfect. You have to kind of figure things out sometimes, unfortunately. RST is right there. Yeah, okay, this should work. Yep. Okay, cool. We're good. All right, after doing that, we go over here and we can send it to the McDeuce. It's going to send over the V-speeds and weights and all that stuff. We have that all set up here. Good, beautiful. Grand, everything grand there. Let's go ahead and get our clearance information here in Minneapolis. That's going to be on 1332. Minneapolis clearance, good morning from SkyWest 4169. We're ready for IFR clearance to Midway.
SkyWest 4169, Minneapolis clearance cleared to Chicago Midway. Rochester 1 departure, then is filed. Climb via SID, except maintain 5,000 feet. Departure frequency 1 tree 2.9 or 75. Squawk 1455.
Alright, we're clear to Chicago Midway, Rochester 1 departure, then is filed. We're going to climb via the SID, except maintain 5,000 departures on 132.975, squawk 1455, SkyWest 4169.
SkyWest 4169, read
Okie
back
dokie.
correct. Contact ground 127.9 or 2.
Go to performance next, and we're going to go to takeoff. Over to ground 127.92, SkyWest 6169. Sorry, 4169. See ya. All right, winds here 14 at 7. Good, grand. Radio, and now we'll have to make sure we click that button here in a second. Okay. Minneapolis ground, SkyWest 4169. Request pushback and engine start. All right, runway 17 is what we're also expecting, and we're getting.
SkyWest 4169, Minneapolis ground, pushback and engine start approved. Face southwest.
Face southwest, SkyWest 4169. You know, one thing I noticed is that I've gotten a lot better at looking at Beyondatc to know what my call sign is. It's taken me a while, because I used to always go by 516. And at some point I changed it to actually go in real world. I think it's when I started using the pilot's life. We're going to guesstimate this here, so we're going to say there. Alright, release the parking brake, hold, good. Let's go and start engine number 1. And let's start squawking. I also removed the airports off the map, and we're going to go TCAS as well. Get the clock rolling. Okay, pushback is commencing. Oh, I gotta do trim next. Alright, so trim is right down here, 3.6. Beautiful. I wasn't quite sure what plane I wanted to take today. It was kind of up in the air. But I settled on the E-Jet. I'm just having a lot of fun with it. I really am. I did a flight, well, 2 flights yesterday in the 777, the PMDG's 777, and one was a WASM crash. So I had to hand fly the plane the last half of the leg. It was Minneapolis to St. Louis. And the second flight went flawless. I think that was just a reverse flight into St. Louis. Into Minneapolis. Alright, engine number 2 coming up next. We got a Delta. Yeah, we could have pushed back much farther. Minneapolis ground, the SkyWest 4169 ready to taxi to the active. Alright, flaps coming down. Let's get the yoke cam on, although it's not really yoke cam anymore.
Aircraft calling for taxi instructions, say call sign.
Nope. SkyWest 4169. It's having some problems with this voice this morning, isn't it?
SkyWest Skywest 4169, runway 17 taxi via Bravo, Alpha 10, Whiskey 10, Whiskey Kilo 10.
Taxi runway 17 via Bravo, Alpha 10, Whiskey 10, Whiskey Kilo 10, Skywest 4169. Alright, taxi lights on. Give us some throttle. Let's get flying soon. Let's get the APU off. Beautiful. Let's check the all clear. Takeoff okay. We'll go ahead and get our yaw damper. Alright, looking good. So we're going to take Bravo, which I'm just passing. Bravo is here. We're going to take this all the way wrapping around. I do find it interesting in Minneapolis, they don't have you hold short for runway 22. Is it 4 and 22, right? Yeah, 4 and 22. They don't have you hold short here, ever. I've never had a hold short here in Beyondatc. Sorry, with Beyondatc. We also have some interesting departures, or sorry, landings and departures. So we're taking off runway 17. They're landing 12 left. And I'm not sure where that other plane was heading. Must have been taxiing. Must have been taxiing. I am third place still on a pilot's life with SkyWest, but I am so close to second place. What was it, like 20 flights or something like that? Maybe less? And 35-ish or so from first place. I was about to jump ship to another airline. I wasn't quite sure which airline yet, so I applied for 4 yesterday. UPS, FedEx, I was thinking about going back to cargo stuff, and American and Delta. No, United and Delta, I think it was. And... or was it American? Well, I don't remember anymore. Anyways, UPS gave me an offer, and one of the other airlines gave me an offer as well. Yeah, look at that's interesting. They're landing 12s, but they're departing runway 17s. And we got cleared taxi, so we're going all the way. Whoa, what's this plane doing? Alright, let's just hold here, because I'm not quite sure what they're doing. Plus, I want to see this plane coming. Another E-jet. Okay, they're gonna hold for us, looks like. Where did they come from? Are they landing 17 as well? That's really cool. They're holding for us. This is cool stuff, man. I'm telling you. This is Sun Country. That's so awesome. It's cool to see this when it happens, like, and it's often enough. It's just you got to get traffic, enough traffic. They're kind of close to us, but you know, it works. And then, just like that, they should start moving. Yep. How cool is that? Traffic with Beyondatc is so incredible. It's so cool. It's so amazing. It's difficult to not use it.
Skywest 4169, contact Minneapolis Tower 126.7.
Over to 126.7, SkyWest 4169. See ya. Alright, we'll go auto response for takeoff. Minneapolis Tower, good morning from SkyWest 4169. We're holding short runway 17, ready to go.
SkyWest 4169, Minneapolis Tower, wind 140 at 7, fly runway heading, runway 17, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 17 cleared for takeoff, SkyWest 4169. All right, we have our clearance. We have our cleared for takeoff. So it's a pretty straightforward departure here. Following runway heading for the most part. All right, lined up. Bring up those throttles. Auto throttle, toga set. Everything looking good. All in green. Let's go flying. Got a slight crosswind. Very, very slight though. Rotating.
Positive brake.
Gear going up. All right, we're cleared initially to 5,000. We're going to fly runway heading, which is pretty much just going to be our nav approach here. Notch your flaps up.
SkyWest 4169, contact Minneapolis departure.
And full flaps up.
Contact Minneapolis departure, SkyWest 4169. Take care.
I'll just get on the nav approach here.
Minneapolis departure, SkyWest 4169.
Trimming down
Good
just a
morning,
little bit.
2,300 feet.
SkyWest 4169, Minneapolis
Up to 16.
Radar contact. Clear direct Farmington. Resume the Rochester 1. Climb maintain 16,000 feet.
Cleared
All right,
direct
16,000.
Farmington. Resume the Rochester 1. Climb maintain 16,000 feet. SkyWest 4169.
See, that was a pretty stable departure. All right, making a swing on over to the right a little bit. We'll hand fly this up to 10,000, which is what I normally do. It is interesting that when I was looking up when pilots turn on AP, and a lot of the CRJ pilots do it right after takeoff, 400 feet above. And then the rest of the pilots, it kind of varies drastically. Some airlines have SOPs where they have to do it at a certain altitude or by a certain altitude or in certain weather conditions. But a lot of pilots say they'll do, it's either 10,000, 18, or it's cruise. It's really interesting, the variation in it all. I seem to always be 10,000. It's very rare that I go above that. And once you dial in the altitude, the trim, all you're doing is making sure you stay on course, left or right. All right, coming up on 10,000. All right, AP is on. Landing taxi lights are off. And there's our course. All looking grand. I wouldn't say a short flight for one of my streams. It's 300 whatever nautical miles. If we get the runway we're expecting, we should have pretty much a straight in arrival. So it shouldn't be too much to worry about with that. There's our airport back there. Looking good. So there is a plane coming out this week, tail end of this week, Thursday through Sundays, I think is what I read. It's a 737 Classic. It's from a brand new studio, brand new developer. And the question mark with it is, one, is the plane going to be okay? The screenshots obviously are something. You know, you can nitpick screenshots a lot because the screenshot will only show you so much information, especially when you're looking at something like Flight Sim, where it's
Contact
everything.
Minneapolis
The
Center
immersion
133.7,
is everything.
SkyWest
It's the computer
4169.
system, it's the
Take
flight
care.
physics, it's the sounds, it's the lighting, right? There are a bunch of variables within that. But, you know, if a plane looks good, that's one thing. I've said it before, this E-Jet looks really nice. I like it. It's beautiful. The exterior looks good. Interior looks really good. So I'm happy with the model of the plane itself. And let's go ahead and put in, we'll be climbing up to 33.
SkyWest 4169, Minneapolis Center, good morning. Climb, maintain flight level 330.
All right, 330.
Climb, maintain flight level 330, SkyWest 4169.
But that plane is Samantha. Thanks for the follow. The plane in question is the first of its kind for Flight Sim, and it is a subscription-based plane. Now you can buy it out. You can buy out the plane for $120, and that's yours for life, they say. Or you can give them, I think it's $50 a year, and have the plane for a year. Or you can give them $5 and have it for a month. And I talked about this a while back ago on one of the other streams or videos or something. And there are pluses and minuses with this. There is another developer who offers a subscription-based product as well. And their reasoning, or his reasoning for the subscription outside of, you know, just maintenance itself, is that with the subscription, now you have to continue to provide a high quality product for people to continue subscribing to it. And while theoretically that sounds correct, in practice it's not really. Because think of you might be one of these people as well, but think of all these subscriptions you might have that you rarely use. Okay? Just think about it for a little bit. If you have, and I'm not talking about just Flight Sim, I'm talking about anything. Think of the subscriptions you might currently have that you know you don't use, you know, frequent enough. And most of those would come down to being, you know, entertainment. So Netflix, Hulu, etc., right? I subscribe to Disney Plus and Hulu. I do the bundle package. That's $20 a month. But I feel that between my wife and I, we use at least Hulu enough. Disney, kind of up in the air. To be honest, Disney's up in the air, and I'm contemplating potentially just going to Hulu at some point and dropping Disney, because right now I'm just using it for Andor, and once Andor's over with, I don't know if there's anything beneficial for me to keep Disney. But we'll see. But my wife was guilty of this as well. She has, you know, she has Max, she has Prime, she has Hulu, Netflix, you know, she has them all. And I don't know if she uses them all frequent enough.
Contact Minneapolis Center 132.35, SkyWest 4169.
So I think, in a way, that idea is flawed, but at the same time, it can and does make sense. Because I'm someone that would be willing to jump to another provider if that's where the content is. Or if I'm not getting enough content with the one, I'll go somewhere else. I'm willing to do that. And I don't know if everyone else does that as well, or as many people do that. So how many people are going to subscribe for the month and then forget to cancel the subscription and continue getting charged $5 a month even though they don't touch that plane? But there's the flip side to it, where you can give them $5. Okay, it's $5 to try out the plane. And if you don't like it, whatever, it's $5. Right? So instead of spending, like a lot of people did, $77 on the PMDG 777, imagine if that was only $5 to try. No, I would have bought the PMTG 777 anyways. But the A350, I don't know. At launch, like, it's a cool plane, and I did a lot of flights with it initially. But I might have not renewed that subscription after that first month if it was a $5 subscription thing. I might not have renewed it. I probably wouldn't have, honestly. In all honesty, I probably wouldn't have. At launch, it had major performance issues, right? A lot of FPS drops, and it's an indie built plane, and that's what happens with indie builds. You're never gonna get performance in the forefront. But they made some improvements, and it's been out for a while now, and the plane, for the most part, is pretty stable. I flew it on Saturday, I think it was. No issues. Performance was pretty decent, you know, comparable to, for the most part, to like the 319. I would say the FPS is slightly different, but very minor difference. Very minor difference. Okay, getting close to cruise here. We'll start putting in our arrival information. Good old boring Midwest. So just flying over Rochester now, which I am guessing is right down here. Yeah, I'd be my guest. I know I said last week I was going to stream on Saturday for my birthday, but I said in the past that, like, I don't want to stream just to stream. Like, I want to feel like I can provide some information and have some fun, right? And I just wasn't feeling it on Saturday. Went out to eat, and I just kind of felt like chilling, just relaxing. So I did a bunch of flights. I watched some stuff in the background, and I had a good time, just relaxing. I feel like if I was streaming, I would have forced myself to stream and talk about things I didn't want to talk about, and I don't think that's good for anyone. I did, however, it's been about, what, 2 weeks or so since I last played Last of Us Part 2. And my idea is to be ahead of what the series is. So I went ahead and I played about 2 hours this weekend. And thankfully it caught me up to almost exactly where we are in the series with episode 5. So now there's 2 more episodes. And from my understanding, what happens here is the game is broken up into day 1, 2, and 3 with Ellie, and it sounds like the last half of the game is 1, 2, 3 with Abby. So it seems like that's where it's going to cut off after day 3 with Ellie, and then we'll probably have some sort of cliffhanger, and then we'll see season 3 do the Abby story. So I wouldn't be as rushed to try to finish off the second half of the game. But I do need to I don't want to rush myself, but I do need to get some hours in throughout this week here. Doom is also coming out on Thursday, I think it is. Doom The Dark Ages, which I'm super excited about. It's really weird because I'm not a Doom hardcore person by any means. I have played all I've played every Doom since the rebooted one in, when was that? 2000, whenever that came out, 2001 or something. And I played the OG stuff, but not all of them. But that's where I started playing all the Doom games. And I really enjoy this mindless, massive destruction, fast-paced Doom games. Now, I wasn't as big of a fan of the last one. That was Eternal, right? I wasn't as fan of that because I didn't care for the platforming. I wasn't a fan of the platforming. I didn't think that was necessary. I understand why they added it into the game, but I don't know. That was the one part I didn't like about it. Everything else was really, really cool. Okay, so we're supposed to go direct to Oh My, and it's having us go direct to Halo. So it's going to put us off course. Oh My is like right over here somewhere. So I'm going to go to heading mode.
Minneapolis Center, SkyWest 3772.
I'm going to adjust the course manually here.
Direct no 9.
SkyWest 3772, Minneapolis Center.
Yeah, I thought there was something going on. I should check that better. But ALO here, this isn't on our flight plan.
Climb maintain flight level 330. SkyWest 3772.
So we'll just make a slight course adjustment. And then we should be able to go direct jump after Oh My.
Center on 128.6. SkyWest 3772. Take care.
And I'm just trying to get back on course a little bit. 146 for the heading. At least that's what Navigraph was telling me.
SkyWest 4169, contact Minneapolis Center 118.85.
I could probably
Contact
actually just go
Minneapolis Center 118.85, SkyWest 4169.
direct jump.
Minneapolis Center, SkyWest 4169. Good morning, flight level 330.
Yeah, I could probably just go direct jump and fix it all right there. Let's do that. Let's go direct jump. And then let's go back to nav. Yeah, that should be perfect actually. Okay, we'll do that. Okay, let's go down here and put in a performance information. So landing. And runway 4 right is our expected arrival today. I don't fly into Midway that often. But it's a nice, I have an add-on for that. I don't know if it's a freeware though. It might be a freeware though. Alright, and then temperature in Chicago is 19. Winds are 7 at 6. Good deal. Radio and 1115. 1115. Cool. Alright, minimums are 869. So up here, we're going to look at the minimums, which are going to be right down here. And we'll do 860. $860 for the minimums. Cool. Okay, all is good. All is grand. Yeah, this will be perfect actually. Alright. What else we got going on? Let's say something else too. I don't remember. Yep, I lost my train of thought, sorry. Yeah, Flight Sim Expo is in about 6 weeks. And we'll see what kind of new stuff is announced there. The Meridian guy, so what's his name? Oh shoot, what's his name? Well, I can't remember. Anyways, he went from Honeycomb now, started his own company, Meridian. And they showed off at FS Weekend they showed up video or photos, concept ideas of their yoke and throttle quadrants. And he said that they're going to have some hands-on stuff available at the expo. So it'll be interesting to see how that all plays out. That's where I'm interested in the future. I've, again, got sucked into the Moza stuff, where I was contemplating getting either the flight stick or the yoke, and either one would be cool to have. It's just when I read about the yoke, I keep reading that while the concept is cool and while certain features work really nicely, there's still a bunch of missing features. Now they recently just added where when you adjust a trim, that the yoke either goes forward or backwards. So that's a plus right there, right? Baby steps with it. And Moza, this is their first time getting into like flight sim stuff. So it's going to take some time with their software. So when you jump into their stuff, realize that you are entering, early access or beta per se. You spend a lot of money for beta, but nevertheless, the quality is supposed to be pretty high. Some of the docks on the yoke is that there's a couple of pieces that are plastic, while the rest of it's like a metal finish. So there are complaints about that. My thing is the following. When you have a motor-driven something, there's a higher chance of needing something replaced than something that doesn't have a motor. And that's what's nice about the honeycomb stuff. Obviously there's no force feedback, but for the most part it's a simple design. You might need to get some lubrication in there, you might need to adjust a wire from time to time, a quick solder or something, but for the most part it's a fairly simple basic product and it works extremely well. And I'm hoping that Meridian does the same thing with their following products. Now there's supposed to be some sort of a stick shaker feature in it, gimmick stuff like that. I don't want any of that stuff because that adds to potential failures with the unit. So I don't want any of that. The same thing with the Bravo. The Bravo is such a basic thing. There's a board and a bunch of wires. That's really it. Like one of the wire pieces, a couple of the wire pieces broke off on my Bravo. Open it up, whatever, 15-20 minutes, do a little bit of soldering, put it back together, good to go. Whereas you add in more complex features, you have more potential failure opportunities. But nevertheless, Moza has supposed to have really, really good support, so that may not even be as big of an issue as I'm saying right now. But I've never had a Moza product before. The flight stick seems to be really, really good, pretty stable. Again, limited in some features and whatnot. One thing is apparently the dead zone's not great on the flight stick, so that had me concerned a bit. So after reading and watching some reviews, I was like, well, I don't know. I'm not quite sold on it. I'm not quite sold on either one of the products to put down as much money as it cost. On top of that, I've been super happy with my Honeycomb products. And then I have my Windwing FCU. I also have the Windwing joystick, which is really good. I just don't use it often because I'm more of a yoke pilot than I am a joystick pilot. Irishman, who's in the stream often, he recently just got Honeycomb Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie. And, it's going to take him some time getting used to a yoke compared to a joystick, but once he gets it dialed in and figured out, oh man, it's almost like you can't go back. It really is. That's how it's been for me, honestly. Okay, top of descent we're expecting at 14:32, so that's in about 13 minutes. And based on our charts, welcome in P2. Welcome on in. How's the job going? 6,000 on the approach. Now this plane does not have VNAV capabilities yet. That's also supposed to be announced, showcased at Flight Sim Expo next month, which I had planned to go to. Oh, we got a runway change.
Arrival, Chicago Midway Airport, landing runway 22 left, altimeter tree 009er.
Okay.
All right. Descend via ND6 arrival. Chicago Midway Airport landing runway
22 left. Oh, it's an
altimeter
RNAV.
3009.
Well, hell.
SkyWest 4169.
And 6 via Chunk.
West 4169, contact Chicago Center 133.905.
Alright, what's it doing now? Alright, getting
Contact
back on
Chicago
course.
Center 133.905. SkyWest 4169.
Job going well. Way too many. Yeah, you know,
Chicago Center, SkyWest 4169.
we talk about this at my job a lot.
Descending
There's a
via
lot of middle
ND6,
management
Flight
companies,
level 330.
and we have all these useless meetings. It's crazy. So we don't have a nav approach, of course. It's an RNAV. Minimums are what? Minimums are 960. $960. Okay, so runway change. Gotta be for the wind, right? What's the wind?
SkyWest 4169. Contact Chicago Center 132.8.
I don't know if this runway makes sense for the arrival, but
Center
whatever.
on 132.8.
It's what they gave us.
SkyWest 4169. See you.
When I was in
Chicago
management,
Center, SkyWest
that was like my biggest
4169,
complaint.
descending via
Is
ND6,
there's just
flight
too
level
many
330.
meetings. An email would suffice for 98% of things, and I don't understand if just people aren't
SkyWest 4169, Chicago Center, roger.
as efficient as I thought they were, or effective, whatever it be, or what. You know, if someone sends me an email, go get this done. All right, cool, no problem. I don't need a hour-long meeting to tell me how to get it done. I will just find a way to get it done. But so many corporations now want to have these big meetings about, you know, well, this is how you do things and execute things. Okay. Or alright. Looks like Chump's not working exactly right. Let's see if that fixes it. Yep, cool. Did it just pop back on the airports? No. What's all the green? Waypoints? Nope. Oh, navs. There we go. Get rid of that. Okay, this will add on just a few minutes of the flight since we're going to be circling back around. Oh yeah, tickets, yeah. Software engineering, all about tickets, yeah. That's the company I work for. It's always, did you put a ticket in for that? Did you put a ticket in for this? Good old support tickets. Speaking of support tickets, and I guess I'm using the word support, not really the tickets per se. But I was talking about, I got an email about a week ago from Mint Mobile. I use them as my phone provider, and they were offering a discount to the T-Mobile internet plan. And I was like, hey, you know, that might not be a bad idea. Welcome in, Ma. It would be interesting to see what the speeds are compared to what I have. Hey, thanks for the comment there. My concern going into it was the upload speed is substantially slower than, at least advertised, than what I get right now with Xfinity. I knew that I wasn't gonna get the speeds I get out of Xfinity from Xfinity, period, right? I'm on a gigabit plan. There's no way 4G is going to be able to compete with that. But I was willing to accept anywhere between 300 to 400 versus what I got. And the reason why I was looking at potentially switching over was because I pay about $130 a month right now with Xfinity. And with the T-Mobile thing, it was like $35 a month. And even if we were to find, I don't know if this was even possible, but to get two different plans in our household, it would be substantially cheaper going that route than having Xfinity. So I gave it a try. I got the box in the mail, hooked it up, and that was flawless for the most part. Did a speed test, and it was barely cracking 100 megabits per second. Barely cracking 100. It's like 103 or something. And I think I topped out at 105. Now here's the crazy part. While I was doing the speed test, I was also watching a streamer in the background. And I've done that many of times with other service providers in my life, right? It's a video coming through, doesn't take a whole lot. Well, doing that speed test maxed out the download speed, so it was causing the stream to have to reconnect, which was my first sign of concern. Second, since I use Mint Mobile, they're on the T-Mobile network, and this dawned on me a couple days after the fact, but I got a notification on my phone saying that I've used, now with my Mint Mobile plan, it's a 5 gigabyte a month plan, and I rarely ever use more than a gigabyte a month. Rarely ever use that to begin with. Let's see, top of distance at 33, so 6 more minutes. And anyway, so I got a ping on my phone telling me that I've used more data than I normally have. And I'm like, what the hell? The plan just started 2 days ago, and I've been home most of that time, or at work where I have Wi-Fi, and I'm always auto-connecting to the Wi-Fi. And I was so confused. I'm looking through my log, looking through the websites I visited, looking through my download, trying to figure out what it was, and it was saying that I used 2 gigabytes on Chrome. And I'm like, that's impossible. Impossible. I don't understand it. So I'm trying to look at logs and looking deep into the Android system, see if I could figure out where that was coming from, and I couldn't find out. Well, then I started looking at how much T-Mobile says I used in that little half-hour span that I was on their network. And T-Mobile says I was using 2 gigabytes. And I'm like, that can't be true either. Because all I did in that time period, all I did was watch a streamer for a little bit in the 30-minute span, watch a streamer on Twitch, and do a couple speed tests. Is that really possible to use 2 gigabytes worth of data in 30 minutes watching a streamer? I don't know if that's possible. Maybe. But anyways, what I think happened is I think T-Mobile is using my Mint Mobile data plan. I think. So I need to reach out to Mint Mobile and see if that's even possible. Because that's the only thing. My phone was connected to the T-Mobile hotspot, the router thing they gave me, right? And I know it was connected to that. But I don't know. I'm really confused how it all worked out. But there's no way, based on timing, that I used 2 gigabytes on my phone. There's no way. So I don't know, maybe... No, that wouldn't be right either. I was thinking maybe it transferred stuff from my phone to the hotspot. Download an app and all that jazz. I had to download an app. I had to download the T-Mobile app. But I did that still when I was on Wi-Fi on my Xfinity device. So, I'm all confused. Either way, I will not be switching to T-Mobile's internet because the speeds are just really, really slow. Again, I was willing to accept 300 to 400. I thought that was a fine number for the price tag. But I would be paying a fourth of the cost, but also getting 1/10 of the speeds. And this was on a Friday this was on a Friday afternoon, I think, when I tested it.
SkyWest 4169.
I had moved the device around the house a little bit to see if there was different, hotspots that would be better. I was getting 5 bars for the most part. I think it's 4 bars, but nevertheless, speeds definitely just were not ideal.
Chicago Center, SkyWest 4169.
So that's unfortunate. I was kind of excited about it. And then, okay, on top of that, and I thought the Biden administration had passed a bill up on this. Maybe it still has to pass, but in order to cancel the plan, you have to call someone up. You can't just cancel it on their website. You have to call up T-Mobile support and ask to cancel the plan. And again, I thought the Biden administration had passed a bill saying that it is required, but maybe it's not until 2026 or something. I don't know. But now that pisses me off too, because now also, here's the other thing. I can't just go into the T-Mobile apparently and cancel it, because only customer support can cancel plans. So now I have to call up customer support, and then apparently I can't just ship this back to them. I have to bring this into a T-Mobile store. This has been more of a headache than I thought it was going to be. I was like, I'll do the 14-day trial thing, see how it works out, whatever, right? Yeah, no. Yep. More of a hassle. So, oh well. That bill will never see the light of day. Oh, I got the bill as well. It was $50, which also confused me because it's supposed to be $35. Although I think I did do the middle plan, which was 50. Yeah. It was a little bit more speed. Well, supposed to be more speed. They were saying it were between 150 to pretty much 400. And I was getting, again, like 103. What was it? Let me see. I think I have a screenshot still. Uh, 109. My download was 109. My upload was 8. 109. Yeah. That's not. There's no way. No way that would work in our household. Oh, the bill introduced to the online thing. I thought that passed, though. I thought it passed here in the US. The bill was something about, like, if you offer service online, and the example is like SiriusXM, because they got me on this one. So SiriusXM, you can sign up on their website for their plan, but in order to cancel it, you had to call them. And I had Sirius too. When I got my car, they gave me like a year free or something like that, and I was like, okay, well, cool, but I don't ever use this in my car, often enough. So I'm like, I'll cancel it. I'm not going to pay $10 a month for this. But you have to call them to cancel it, which I did, and then they gave me 6 months free. I was like, okay, whatever. I'll do it for 6 more months, and I'll call you and cancel it then, which I did, and then they gave me 3 months free. I'm assuming they thought I would just forget about it, but no. When I have a thing like a subscription-based thing that I know I'm not going to use often enough, and I want to just take advantage of the free or the discount, I'll put in my phone a few days before the cancellation date, and then I'll just cancel it. Yeah, so annoying for sure. The same with my Chevy car. It has like a subscription for the like auto start on, like the app auto start crap on your phone and car location, all that jazz. And so I the same thing happened with that. Like I got, I don't know, a year or 2 free with that. I went to go cancel it, and you have to do it only on the website. I mean, you have to call. So I called them, and they gave me another like 6 months free.
Chicago Center 12
All right, cool.
SkyWest 4169. Take care. Chicago Center, SkyWest 4169.
Thanks to my accent, I always say, oh, I'm leaving the country. My visa's coming to an end. That's pretty good. All right. Oh, we're missing top of the set. Actually, no, we're ready to go.
Chicago Center, Roger.
Descending via. Okay, so ready for descent. And I think 15 should work for this descent. Oh, it's not working. Let's drop it here. Let's go. We'll start off at 12. We still got 105 nautical miles out, so it's not too far away. So now I have to. I'll wait until this coming weekend, but now I have to call T-Mobile, and then I have to bring in the T-Mobile device into the store, and I have to watch to make sure I don't get charged for it.
American 2285, contact Chicago Center.
And now I have to watch my Mint Mobile plan for the rest of the month because somehow I used 2 gigabytes worth of data and I didn't. I know I didn't. I could probably easily get a hold of T-Mobile, or not T-Mobile, Mint Mobile, and be like, yo, I don't know what's going on here. Can you look into this? And they'll probably just credit me 2 gigabytes. I don't care though. I still have, 2.5 gigs. I'm not gonna use that. I rarely ever use 1 gigabyte a month. So I'll still have plenty of space. Not space, bandwidth. Plenty of it. Okay, 102 nautical miles out. Runway 22 left is our arrival. Do I have the... I have the charts on here now, don't I? Yeah. Alright, so... Oh, crap. Oh, yeah, that's why. That's why I don't use it, because that's broken. The keyboard thing's broken on here. I'm pretty sure I thought about this last time. Enable MCD keyboard. Yeah, no. Alright, never mind. I was going to bring up the charts on here, but I forgot that was broken. Okay, anyways, landing 2 to left and exit to the left. Probably at Kilo, or sorry, Yankee 2. And then we'll take Yankee. All the way to the gate. Alright, pretty simple approach. So my last schedule for a pilot's life, I was pretty much departing or arriving into San Francisco. I was doing the hub, depart from a hub, land at a hub, that kind of thing. And it's working pretty well. I enjoyed it. But after 10 flights of all San Francisco, I was like, alright, I'm done. I'm done with that. So now I'm back on now I'm in the Midwest. So I think most of my flights are out of Minneapolis now. Either out of Minneapolis or into Minneapolis. This is my 2 yesterday. To start off, this was Minneapolis to St. Louis, and then St. Louis to Minneapolis. This one's Minneapolis to Midway, and then Midway back to Minneapolis. And I think I have a couple of short ones in there as well. Which is why I was saying I was thinking about jumping over to another airline, but since I'm so close to second and first place with SkyWest, now I want to just get that goal. Now I just want to be first in there. Speaking of first, so there's this basketball game in VR for the Quest, and I was first place for many months with the free throw one, right? First place. I was very proud of myself because it's very difficult. Very, very difficult. I had 400 whatever points. Well, someone stole my record. Someone stole my first place. And they destroyed me. They're like 600 and whatever points. It's very difficult because you have a minute to score as many points you can at the free throw line. Okay? And each time you score, the multiplier goes up. But if you miss, the multiplier resets. So that tells me that the person that beat me pretty much made every single shot. And you also have to be fast about it, because you have, you have to be accurate but fast. And I felt like I got lucky. Welcome in, Irishman. How's the honeycomb stuff treating you? I was very proud of myself, because I thought I did really well. And now he got 600, or they got 600, so like, geez, okay. Well, I don't know if I'm ever going to achieve that. I barely can scratch 100 nowadays. I'll try it again at some point. Alright, we should be on the ground here in the next 20-ish minutes or so.
Chicago Center, November 820 Delta, 13,000 feet.
Can we see Lake Michigan yet? I don't think so.
November 820 Delta.
I saw land out here. I was thinking maybe here.
Climb to flight level 200.
That might be Lake Michigan.
Continue climb to flight level 200.
There.
November 820 Delta.
Maybe. The clouds parted and the angels are singing. Oh boy. Alright, looking good. Curious though. What do we have going on here? Oh, we don't have a rival.
SkyWest 4169, contact Chicago Center 123.75.
Contact Chicago
Okay,
Center
so we have
123.75, SkyWest 4169.
And then we have to come back around.
Chicago Center,
This is gonna be
SkyWest
interesting, 'cause we have no
4169,
rival.
Descending via ND6,
22.
flight level 250.
We can't mess with anything now, so alright, well this will be fascinating.
SkyWest
So we're gonna end up having to go left. So hopefully the vectors here are good. Because I really need vectors on this approach. Taking off and steering, not a problem. Landing though is completely different than the stick. Yeah, for sure. Yep. I feel like there's more... You have more range with the honeycomb yoke. A lot more range. And I'm not sure what your setup was like with the stick, if you use throttle on the left, or if you were co-pilot, throttle on the right, or sorry, if you're co-pilot, throttle on the left, captain on the right. Yeah. So I'm not sure how your setup was there. Like for me, obviously you've seen the camera, but throttle's on the right, so I'm the captain seat. But so that can mess with you too. And that, I think, was the biggest learning curve when I jumped into the honeycomb Bravo. Before that, let's see, I had the Thrustmaster where the throttle was on the right on that one. Stick on the left. And then I switched over to the Airbus Captain's side stick thing. And that was the stick on the... Well, now I'm really confused. All I know is that I had a hard time using the stick on the left. Oh, same as... Oh yeah, I remember the picture. I had a really hard time using the stick on the left. Because I'm right-handed. And I couldn't really get... I couldn't dial in the stick very well. So now I'm thinking that... Yeah, I think with the Thrustmaster setup I had, the stick was on the right. Throttle was left. Yeah, now I'm thinking about that correctly. Yep. Yeah, so stick was on the right. And I remember being able to control that well. And then when I switched over to the side stick, the Airbus side stick, I had a hard time just getting my landings, even just left and right, it was very difficult. my brain just wasn't computing it, and then the muscle strength, the memory wasn't there. So even when I went over to the wind wing side stick for a little bit, I still was having a hard time doing it. And it's really weird to say that because I use, yeah, I remember that photo. I use, when I fly with my yoke, I use my left hand. I fly with my left. I don't have two hands on the yoke. Yeah, it's not a car. So I have my hand on the left stick, or my hand on the left of the yoke, and then the throttle quadrant is my other hand for the throttles. But the movement's different, you know what I mean? The movement is different. I don't know, it's a weird thing to think about. Really weird. Alright, how are we looking at this approach? At ND, we're supposed to be between 7 and 6. We're way heavy, or way high, so let's go ahead and descend. Why is that not working? Alright, so we'll drop down at 2,000. Let's go ahead and get heading modes synced up. Why didn't that work? There we go. Alright, now I think I see Lake Michigan. Yeah, there's Lake Michigan. Our airport is somewhere over here, I think. Right there, maybe? Yeah, proactive with the yoke, for sure. But, yeah, once you get it all dialed in, it's just the experience, in my opinion, and this is all opinion-based stuff, is superior to the side stick. And thanks to Flight Sim 2024, you can set up profiles for individual planes, and you don't have to switch them. You know, it automatically saves it. So I have 3 profiles. I have a 319, the CRJ. Actually, do I only have 2? Yeah, I think I just have 2. Well, then the default as well. But yeah, so I have the CRJ and E-Jet. No, that's not right. I think I do have 3. I don't remember. I have one for the CRJ for the sensitivity, which I think I also use for the... what plane? Maybe it is the E-Jet. CRJ and E-Jet, I think, combined. And then the 319, I know I have a profile just for that, which I use for every other plane. And then I have a Kodiak set up for the throttle quadrant. I'm curious to see if you fly into Newark, given Beyondatc, give Beyondatc cuts out on you. Yeah, I don't think so. That's just crazy. But the CEO of United recently said something about he's excited, optimistic. He's the most optimistic he's ever been in aviation because of apparently changes that are supposed to happen. Yeah, I think he's optimistic because he'll probably be able to buy some airline. Rumor has it that it might be JetBlue, which I don't see that happening. If it was the Biden administration that didn't allow JetBlue and Spirit to merge, which makes sense. That would monopolize the entire budget airline stuff, right? Completely monopolize it. It'd be JetBlue and Sun Country for the most part. You got the regional carriers, but that's about it. It makes sense.
SkyWest 4169, contact Chicago Center 127.6.
Alright, so we're still high. We're supposed to be at 6,000.
Center on 127.6.
So I'm not
SkyWest 4169.
terribly concerned, though. We have a little bit to go.
Chicago Center, SkyWest 4169, descending via ND6, 13,500.
Alright, so...
SkyWest Southwest 4169 Chicago Center.
Again, we're hoping for some pretty good vectors for the RNAV approach. Well, hopefully Garen is watching this because he was having issues with Beyondatc and RNAVs. So we'll see what happens here. On the RNAV approach, I have, whoops. Yankee's what I was expecting. Typically is Yankee. 3,000 for the altitude, so we'll see what they end up giving us. Yeah, the airport is right up here, I think. Yeah, there's the airport. And then O'Hare is right over here. And we'll start seeing downtown pop up momentarily. I'll be down in this neck of the woods. Where we gotta be? Right over here. Or maybe here. Yeah, maybe here. On Saturday, my wife and I are going to celebrate our anniversary. And we're going to go to the planetarium. Which we've been in the Chicagoland area now for 5 years, and we've never been to a planetarium yet. So we're kind of excited. Yeah, planetarium. Yep, that's right. It seems like seems like all my static airplanes decided to show back up once I connected all of the honeycomb stuff. What? That's weird. Click the visual to left, okay? All the weird pattern colored planes at the gates, etc. That would make no sense. Just switching peripherals. That would make no sense. Okay, so we do have Midway on here, so that at least gives us an idea, but we're going to have to expect good vectors, again, coming into this airport. So Midway's there. I used to work right around here. What is that? Oh, I was gonna tell y'all this last week. So my real world flight in the E-Jet ERJ. I remember in the sim I did not the same flight, but I went from Minneapolis to Fargo. You know, my regular test flight. And one of the flights I did there, I noticed as I was flying, I was flying over the river, and there was this white bridge, really bright white bridge, right? And I'm like, what the hell is that? It's gotta be some sort of glitch. And, you know, so I didn't think much to it other than, you know, some weird glitch in the in-flight sim. Well, in real life, I ended up taking a back road, a highway, that went by that very same bridge. And in real life, it is a super bright white bridge. And I could not believe it. There were actually a couple of them, and there were a couple in the sim as well. It was so cool to see. Congratulations, thanks for that. Yeah, there's no way that would make zero sense for the peripherals. Yeah, so here's the train area. Yeah, so I used to work right around here somewhere. Uh-oh, what's going on? Okay. I used to work right over here. Didn't really get to see planes because I was in a warehouse. So, not a whole lot going on there. Speed brakes are stowed. Did they just release a major update into the sim? I haven't been following along here. No. No new updates. Sim update 2 should be official pretty quickly, I assume. Okay, 090050, so 0... I'm going to put in 095. Advanced happy anniversary wishes. Oh, thank you. Thank you, P2. Yeah, it's our... 3rd year? Yeah. 3rd year wedding anniversary, and then we also we tried to make sure our wedding anniversary matched with our dating anniversary, so it's going to be our 9th year together. 9th year together, 3rd year marriage. And there's Midway. So we'll be landing runway 22 left. Right here. And then we'll come in. There's Chicago. Yeah, so we'll be... Let's see, I'm trying to get my bearings. Yeah, this is the old airport here, so yeah, right around here. Soldier Field's there, I think. Oh, lovebirds. Alright, looking pretty good. And then we have another vector, or not another vector, another, oh, this is the star. Walled. We should get vectors after this, though. I know they said they were shutting down career for 2 hours. Oh, yeah. I'm guessing that's just some minor updates still in the background. Alright, so I'm guessing we're going to be following these planes in. I'm assuming those are coming in for landing. See if we can see them. Doesn't look like it.
SkyWest 4169, turn left, heading 060, vectors for the approach.
060.
Turn left, heading 060, SkyWest 4169.
Alright, roger that. 3,000 for the altitude, so we're just waiting now to see if they give us a descent. Because we're awfully high. Yeah, you didn't try the beta, right? P2? You're just on this the stable version. Yeah, so we have a mandatory 3,000 coming up. So we need to get a descent.
SkyWest 4169, turn left, heading 040.
040.
Turn left, heading 040, SkyWest 4169.
Got some boats out there.
SkyWest 4169, descend, maintain 5,000 feet, altimeter tree 00.
Alright, we got 5,000 for the descent.
Descend, maintain 5,000
I don't try betas.
altimeter 300.
Yeah, that's fair.
SkyWest 4169.
Beta 2 has been really good. Other than the first one, it's been really good. Alright, let's drop down to 210 on the speed. Actually, we're going to go lower. We're going to go 180. Let's bring back the speed brakes. By the way, I got... Oh, yeah, you got the Moza AB9 base, but there's no stick available anywhere, so I just had the base. Oh, no. I had the opposite issue. I haven't bought it yet, but... It said 5,000. I'll go ahead and do the 5,000 like they're saying.
SkyWest 4169.
Oh, there's 3,000.
Heading 285, descend and maintain 3,000 feet.
Alright, what did it say?
Turn
285.
left, heading 285. Descend and maintain 3,000 feet. SkyWest 4169.
If the base was in stock and the stick was in stock locally at the Micro Center, I think I probably would own it right now.
Altimeter tree 006.
But when I was when I was on Micro Center's site, I didn't realize I was on like Atlanta or something like that, whatever, some other, not the one I go to here locally. And it showed it was in stock, so I was like, oh hell, I guess I'm going to Micro Center today after work. And then I realized I wasn't on the right site. So the local one here has the stick in stock, but no base in stock. So the opposite P2. Does having real-world traffic on affect the injection in Beyondatc, or do they have to work together? They don't talk to each other. We have the field in sight, SkyWest 4169. Airport's over there.
SkyWest 4169, cleared visual approach, runway 22 left.
Alright, clear for the visual.
Cleared visual approach.
AP
22
off.
left. SkyWest 4169.
I don't think this is legal. This is definitely not legal. Alright, there's the airport. Field in sight. 22 left, airport, runway in sight. This is definitely not legal.
Contact tower 135.2. SkyWest 4169.
I feel Moza can make a Boeing yoke for that base. I don't mind buying one. I need to
Midway
sell my
tower,
Honeycomb Alpha stick.
SkyWest
Oh yeah.
4169, visual
Sorry,
runway
reading chat.
22 left.
Yeah, Moza's gonna come out with different yokes.
0 at 5. Runway 22 left, cleared to land.
They said that much at least. They're coming out with different yokes.
Runway 22 left, cleared to land. Sky West 4169.
Alright, we got a clearance to land. There's 22 left. Exit to the left. We don't have any visual indicators, so we have to go visual all on this. Alright, first notch of flaps are out. Second notch coming out. Gear coming down. Yeah, Beyondatc doesn't see, from my understanding, doesn't see the flight sim injection stuff. So it actually could mess things up because it's going to be planes that might be landing or taxiing that Beyondatc won't be able to see. It uses its own injection. So you're supposed to disable the in-game stuff. I used to have multiplayer on with it. But I disabled multiplayer in 2024. I rarely ever use multiplayer in 2024. Alright, full flaps down. We're a little high on the approach for sure. Alright, looking stable now. I just don't want two planes landing at the same runway. Heading to a meeting. CFP2, thanks for coming on in. I'm not sure the next stream will be. Maybe Friday. Could be Thursday, but I have to work on another video, so probably Friday. Alright, full flaps 5 out. Got a bunch of Southwest airplanes there. Still a little high on the approach based on Pappies. Retrimming the aircraft. Oh, I forgot to get yokes. Sorry. Alright, yoke cam's out. Not that you can see much because it's really dark. Alright, readjusting trim. Alright, looking better. Sorry, now I'm focused on this landing. It's a little wobbly here.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Boom. Alright, reverses are out. Reverser stowed. Flaps coming up.
Skywest 4169, exit left at Yankee 1.
And yaw damper is out.
Exit left at
Or
Yankee
off.
1, Sky West 4169.
And we're doing Yankee 2, I think this is what this was. Yep. Okay, cool. Yankee 2, and then we're going to take... what was this one? Yankee? Alright, landing lights are off.
Skywest 4169, contact ground 118.075.
Alright, welcome to Midway.
Ground 118.075, Sky West 4169. Have a good one.
I love that Chicago in the background there. It's beautiful. Okay, over to ground. Midway ground, good. Morning. From SkyWest 4169. We're on Yankee, looking to taxi to gate Bravo 25.
Southwest 4135.
Alright, we'll hold short here.
35.2.
Over to tower 135.2.
Listen, I just spent $1,000. Don't tell me
4135.
on starting something new. Oh,
Skywest
man.
4169. Welcome to Chicago Midway Airport. Gate Bravo 25 taxi via Yankee. Hold short, runway 13 right.
Bravo 25 should be right up here somewhere. Taxi to gate Bravo 25 via Yankee, hold short, runway 13 right, SkyWest 4169.
Skywest 4169.
Cross 13 right, hold short 13 left.
Taxi via Yankee. Hold short, runway 13 left.
Continue taxi, cross runway 13 right via Echo 1, continue taxi via Yankee hold short 13 left, SkyWest 4169. One three left. This is center. I'm confused. Oh, my map is weird. Okay, I see. I see what's going on. Okay. We just got the auto cross center. Here's left.
SkyWest 4169, cross runway 13.
Alright, gotta get the AP on too.
Continue taxi via Yankee Tango.
Cross runway 13 left at Yankee, continue taxi via Yankee Tango. SkyWest 4169. Alright, so Yankee Tango's here. Where the heck is Bravo 25? Let's see, what's that say? Oh, 25. Is that 25 then? That's where we're going. That's a weird... That can't be a parking spot. Right here? Bravo 25? That's gotta be here, huh? What's that say? Bravo 25. Okay, yeah. Alright, taxi lights are off. And parking brake is set, checked good. APU is on. Let's get rid of the spam. And all grand there. Let's go on down here. What's yelling at me? Doors open. No. Going down here. Stop. Stop. And because you can't use the jetway button there, we're going to use the jetway button up here with this guy. Aircraft, jetway, get that connected.
Southwest 4697 at gate Alpha 15. Request pushback and engine start.
Welcome to Midway.
Southwest 4697, Midway ground.
There's a lot of planes here.
Engine start approved. Face southwest.
I'm telling you, that rebar thing I did made a hell of a difference because
Southwest 4697.
look at this FPS. 70, 80s. It's probably stable in like the 65 to 70 range, but that's impressive for as many planes there are. Definitely some interesting flying in Florida today. We have rain, wind all over the place this morning. Oh, really? Oh, man, that would have been cool. The thing with Florida is, like, there's not a lot of places to fly. Like, if you're flying with the pilot's life. A lot of them are just long flights. And I like to keep that 300. So you have, like, Atlanta and Tallahassee.
Southwest 2779 at Gate Bravo
Jacksonville.
11, request pushback.
I did a lot of those flights. Got a pushback going on there. All right, let's see how we did with a pilot's
Southwest
life.
2779, Midway ground.
I feel like that should be
Pushback and
100%.
engine start approved. Face southwest.
Next flight is the reverse, Midway to Minneapolis,
Approved.
but we're not doing that today.
Southwest 2779.
All right, pilot's life is a 100%. Fantastic. And landing rate was 130, minus 130. Pretty cool. Flight was 107, 107, so 1 hour and 7 minutes. Block time 116. Very successful. I did a flight the other day with, that one I was telling you about earlier, when I had the WASM crash with the 777. I got a score of 86, what really sucks. That's because I was coming in hot, because I couldn't adjust, speed. My landing rate was hard, and I couldn't do anything with the flaps and all that jazz, or the gear. I was a belly landing. So minus 610 was pretty good for a belly landing. So that brought my score down with the pilot's life, which sucks. I should have just canceled the flight, but I didn't want to. It was a longer flight. So I brought my score down to 98.4. I was at 99.1 or something before that.
Runway tree
So
1
that's
center
unfortunate.
taxi via Tango 2, Tango, Echo 1, Southwest 4697.
But, well, we're going to end the stream here. Thanks everyone for coming in, as always. Again, next stream, either Thursday or Friday. If I had to guess, I would say Friday. Probably Friday. Not tomorrow. Tomorrow's podcast day. Wednesday I work early, so yeah, Thursday or Friday for the next stream, but I would say probably Friday. So until then, thanks everyone for coming in, and we'll see you for the next stream. Take care.